Good evening and welcome to FPTV. My name is Andrew Duncan.
And I'm Ashley Andriotti.
Fox News political analyst Juan Williams received the Fitzwater Center Medallion for Leadership in Public Communication on Wednesday, which he followed with his lecture titled, "Keep Your Eyes on the Prize: The Constitution, Voting Rights, and the Triumph of American Democracy." Said Williams, "The education you are receiving here puts you in the fight."
Students all over campus have been complaining about standing in the cold at all hours of the day and night since they have been evacuated for the drills. Freshman dorms New Hampshire and Mount Washington have had 2 fire drills. The cause of the first, late Thursday night, was not threatening, simply burnt mac and cheese. Fellow students wondering how you can be accepted into college yet forget to add water in Easy Mac. The second of these fire drills this past Wednesday was of no cause at all, just a drill performed by Ringe Fire Department with the help of the on-campus fire department and student volunteer firefighters. They also had a practice fire drill in freshman dorm Granite Monday evening. Sophomore dorm Cheshire also experienced a fire drill early this week. Many students tried to spend the night in friends' dorms or even their cars, but the department had struggled to find the cause of the drill. This did not sit well with residents of these halls. Emails have been sent out campus-wide with the heads up that more fire drills are to come for the rest of this week.
The Williams Awards ceremony was part of Franklin Pierce's recognition of Constitution Day, which recognizes the day in 1787 when 39 men signed the Constitution of the United States of America.
Spagnola Hall has been very busy with visitors these past few weeks. Award-winning documentary filmmaker Ken Burns premiered an overview of his 7-part documentary series on the life of the Roosevelt family. This film, a part on Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, and Eleanor Roosevelt, the film followed up with a question and answer with the Roosevelt's producers. Spagnola Hall was not only filled for the premiere of this documentary, but was also filled just last night for a presentation by Juan Williams. Juan Williams is a journalist and political analyst for Fox News Channel. He spoke of his profession and followed up with a question and answer as well. There will be another presentation of the Ken Burns film, The Roosevelts, on September 27th, also in Spagnola Hall. Now let's take it over to Ben with our weekly weather report.
Hello everyone, my name is Ben Cook and this is your weekly weather report. Tomorrow will be sunny throughout with a high of 64 and a low of 37. This Saturday will be rainy, which is too bad, in the evening with a 30% chance of rain in the late afternoon. It will be slightly warmer with a high of 64. Sunday, the rain will stop with it only being slightly cloudy outside, but a high of 71. Starting the week off rainy with consistent showers throughout the day Monday. But luckily, with Tuesday and Wednesday, the rain will go away, with it being sunny throughout both days and a high of 64. I'm Ben Cook. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Ben. Former Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis will be a featured speaker for the second Walter Peterson Forum for Civil Discourse. The talk will focus on civility and political discourse and will be held at Bass Hall at the Monadnock Center for History and Culture on Wednesday, September 24th. It is free and open to the public.
Student government elections were held last week in the Glass Foyer. Students were able to vote from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Positions to run and vote for include president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and 4 seats for senators. Students who were elected were sworn in last night at the first Student Government Association meeting of 2014. Seated members were trained and certified on being a safe rider, an overseer of who and what rides on the campus shuttle, and how to create budgets for school events. Many clubs and their leaders also attended this training, completely filling the Marcasello Lecture Hall. Student government meetings are held every Wednesday at 6:30 in the Marcasello Lecture Hall, and all campus members and commuters are welcome to join and voice any ideas or opinions they may have. Next week's SGA meeting agenda also includes electing a new parliamentarian. Now let's take it over to Felvina with your weekly sports report.
The women's cross-country team placed 5th at the Bruce Chris Cross Country Cup, followed by Smith Griscor, leading the men's cross-country to the 2nd place at Bruce Chris Cross Country Cup. The volleyball team drops 2 in New Haven, defeated by New Haven, and Queens, New York. Women's tennis falls to Adelphi with a score of 2-7 in the season's opener. Women's soccer suffers their first defeat of the season, score of 0-1 to Assumption in Northeast 10 opener. The men's tennis team was defeated 9-0 by Delphine and also by Regis Mass 2-7 in the season's opener. Now let's bring it back to the desk.
Today, the country of Scotland is voting on whether to secede from its political union with the United Kingdom and become independent for the first time in over 300 years.
In Washington on Wednesday, the House has approved President Obama's request to arm and train Syrian rebels in the fight against ISIS. The vote was a tough one, 273 to 156. Many members decided to vote no for the memory that we once decided to arm and train the rebels under the rule and leadership of Osama bin Laden is still prominent. CNN reports that Democratic Republican Representative Tussal Gabardi of Hawaii, who fought in Iraq, said the goals of the president's plan to arm Syrians are unrealistic and pointing to Iraq and Libya and sharply. Clearly, our leaders have not learned their lessons. The voters who support the request often say yes, because there were dozens of Americans missing in Syria and surrounding areas who are being kidnapped and sold to ISIS. American journalists Steve Stoloff and James Foley most recently publicly beheaded by the group. The exact count of how many more Americans ISIS is still containing is still unknown. The idea behind the act is the Pentagon will provide assistance only to appropriately vetted or carefully selected members of the Syrian rebels. A detailed plan will also go through Congress and the Senate before any action of assistance can begin. President Obama has stated that we are not going to do this alone and said that more than 40 countries have offered to help the United States in assisting Iraqis and rebels in Syria to fight against the ISIS terrorists. The plan of help for the Syrian opposition will be voted on Thursday.
Thanks, Ashley. A new study reveals that the mighty Spinosaurus, the largest land carnivore to ever roam the earth, may have lived much of its life in the water. The massive predator had smaller, bulkier hind legs than the T-Rex and a snout similar to a crocodile, potentially enabling it to paddle through water and catch fish. The new theory comes as a result of examining bones that were discovered in Morocco in 1975. Thanks for tuning in to FPTV News. If you're interested in writing or appearing on camera, we film Thursdays at 5:30. Tune in next week for more national and local news. I'm Andrew Duncan.
And I'm Ashley Andriotti.
Have a great night.